Hey guys, welcome to another video. My name is George, and if it's your first time here, welcome, and if you're returning, thank you for clicking on another video. And in today's video we're going to be finally converting the JZX100 into a manual, as I promised. So the first thing we're going to do, take off the plastics because it's nice and clean, so I didn't want it to get dusty. Take off the side skirts so it can fit on the ramp, and then first thing we're going to do is remove the automatic gearbox. Car is on the ramp. I was doing little bits and pieces in the evenings when I had some time, so I have drained the gearbox, that's why I had to push it, and then also on the inside I've removed the pedal for the handbrake, or it's not really a handbrake then, is it? Because obviously being an automatic doesn't need a clutch pedal, so instead of a clutch pedal on the poorer spec of these you would find a pedal for the handbrake, which is somewhere here, so then we can put the clutch pedal in place. But what we're going to do now is just simply remove the automatic gearbox. It's a little bit different than manual because you need to undo the torque converter bolts through this little inspection window, then the bell housing, and I see little bits and pieces at the back as well as the insides. And I need to climb in there using the ladder again because for some reason I just don't do it before I put the car in the ramp. Not entirely sure why, but that's the way I roll. So let's just get started and get the gearbox out. Gearbox is off. We're going to get rid of all the little bits and pieces we've got hanging, which we're not going to need, like this cable that goes to the throttle body. Going to change the starter motor, sort out the wiring. I still need to find out which two cables on the JZX100 we need to connect so the car starts, the neutral switch. Get rid of the flex blades, put the proper flywheel on, little spigot bearing. We can put a clutch on, and then I think put the gearbox on, and after that I'm going to lower the car and sort out the pedal and the hydraulics. This is the difference between 2 JZ and a 1 JZ starter motor. Is quite obvious. Is this front bit here holding this shaft in place, which is a little bit different on the 2J, and that's why we can use the 2J, not the 1J, because with the conversion plate welded on this one, which just wouldn't fit in, it's just hitting. And with the 2J, it sits about, I think the block is about this thick, it just sits in there and fits nicely. Yeah, it's just you need to sort of modify the wiring a little bit. You've got the trigger wire, and then you need to not extend but move the brackets on the car to, if you can see it, not really, but the live cable is just a bit too short, so you need to take it off the bracket and run it a different way. From underneath, so far so good. So what I'm going to do now is lower the car and tackle the interior under the dash for the pedal, as well as the gear stick area, see what we need to do there, and obviously under the bonnet, the hydraulics, etc. So let's just lower the car for now. I've got the clutch pedal and the master here, sort of ready to go in. The only sort of advantage of having that silly foot brake is that everything's already pre-drilled. Got the clutch pedal in. As you can see, big brake pedal. I did buy a brake pedal from IS Lexus, thinking, hopefully it will fit, but it doesn't. But it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna create a template from that pedal, and I'm just gonna grind with an angle grinder into that shape. Put the rubber on, OEM Plus, and it's gonna look just fine. Hydraulic line, Matt Lewis Racing was listed as Supra, as far as I'm aware. All the 90s and the early 90s cars are the same. It's the same line I've used on that red Lexus I've converted previously. So we're going to go through there. There's a little bracket we've got left over from the cable that was running into the throttle body from the gearbox. I'm just going to use that so it holds it in place behind the engine, and down there where the slave is going to be. Onto the interior, we're going to remove the gear stick or the gear selector for the automatic. I'm just going to leave it out for now. I might need to trim it, allow more space for the gear stick from the manual. As you can see, it's got a handbrake here now. This is from a Lexus GS300. It wasn't too bad, needed a little bit of modifying, you know, the cable. And then the center console from the Tourer V specs, slightly different color, or quite a different color, but it will just have to do for now. Hopefully I can get the same color dash in the future. I'm not a big fan of this grey, but let's get rid of this automatic junk. The gear selector is out. I will need to enlarge the hole. I'm not entirely sure which way, this way or that way, because obviously it's a different car. It's not a Lexus like I've done before, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be this way. Then we're going to paint it so it doesn't rust. I'm going to give it a quick hoover, get rid of this Japanese mess, and yeah, you can see the handbrake here. Obviously the cable angle was going this way, so it wouldn't fit because of this main sort of body of the handbrake, so I had to space it out with some washers. I mean, it's not ideal, I guess, but it works. So that's that. So we're gonna raise the car back in the air and put the clutch on. It's got a cheap clutch and cheap flywheel, so I hope it's gonna be good. It's the hated XTD, so I'll just give it a go before we put a turbocharged engine in it. Hopefully it's gonna hold. And this flywheel, lighting flywheel, not ideal for drifting, but I just couldn't find anything else at that time. And then we have the clutch and the pressure plate, and now the clutch plate. Alright, let's put it up in the air. Clutch is on, new day. I had to make a quick getaway yesterday. I've got the gearbox here ready. Doesn't matter what I sort of look at. I've got two drive shafts or prop shafts even. One from JZX100, one from the JZX. It doesn't matter which way I look at it, it doesn't seem like it's gonna line up. So it seems that we need to get a custom made drive shaft. It's gonna take obviously a little while, but what I need to do first is to put the gearbox on, put the mount on, so then I can measure the distance, and I think we're gonna go for a single piece. So I was battling a little bit, then I realised why don't I try and mount from the automatic, the original, instead of using the JZX200, and it lined up nicely. So I'm just going to measure up from the end of the spline onto the flange on the diff, one measurement, and then we're going to grab the appropriate parts from these two, take it to the shop, and then I'm going to make us one piece drive shaft. All measured up, need to be a little bit of play. Obviously, I don't know the guy that's going to be making it. He knows how much play it needs. I'm going to take it there on Monday. I'm not sure if he's going to be in because of the pandemic, which is currently happening. I don't know when you're watching the video, but we are going to see each other maybe in a week's time, hopefully, to continue this video. So after about nearly a month of waiting, I finally got my custom prop. Gentleman is maybe about 85, so it took him a little bit longer, but you know, there's nothing we can do about it. It's absolutely fine. So what we've got left is put the exhaust back, then we've got some wiring, put the prop shaft in, fill up the oil. We are going to bleed the clutch and then modify the clutch pedal on the inside, because obviously the automatic has got a wider pedal. So I'm thinking of, I think I've got one, I think it's this one here, or I've got a brake pedal here somewhere. So I'm going to sort of create a template, spray it onto the pedal. I'll show you and then we just cut it in shape. So let's just get started. As you saw, the car moves, so what we've got left is the gear stick, surround and the little center console, and then we need to modify the brake pedal to make it nice and small. I'm all done. I'm gonna put the side skirts on. The surround, as you saw, doesn't look all that great. I'm looking for a manual one, but they're about 80 quid. So I'm looking if a cheap one will come up on eBay, because I'm not spending 80 quid on a piece of plastic. So we're gonna put the skirts on and go for a drive. As you can see, everything's working fine, as it should. It's not the fastest machine in the world, but it will do for now. There's a lot of noise from this area because I haven't got any sound deadening or waterproofing just yet. It's something I need to come up with, as well as trying to get a manual surround, but they're just a bit too much money for now anyway. So that we'll just have to do, just make it a little bit quieter. And I will see you next time. Please like, subscribe, you know the deal. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.